Lay out all received packages near an open area. You should have a total of 7 boxes. Check for a white sticker on each package. This sticker will show a box number along with item details. Let's start with opening box number 4, which contains 1 2-pound medicine ball, 3 strike noodles, 1 CPU, 1 phone stand, 1 CPU backplate, and 2 small plastic bags of tools. The 3 small packages contain 2 SMARTfit weights equaling a total of 6 weights. Remove items from box number 1. Place the base, 2 cross pieces, and the bottom plate frame into one of the cardboard pieces to eliminate any damages. Remove the SMARTfit mini panel in box number 2. Place it onto one of the cardboard pieces. Finally, unpack all the items in box number 3. Place the right and left posts side by side so they lay next to both the top and bottom support piece. Remove the top 2 screws on both posts. Then do the same near the bottom of the right and left post. Grab the bottom support section and attach it with the screws and washers. Tighten the screws, then back it off 1.5 turns. This will assist you in lining up the parts in the next step. Grab the top support section and repeat. Attach the left post next. Do not snug down all the screws attaching the cross pieces to the right and left post at this time. They should back off about 1.5 turns. Take out all 6 screws at the bottom of the right and left post. Flip the assembly over so that the 2 round shafts are facing up, while placing the end of each post on a chair. Make sure a second or third person is helping during this step. Place the base plate against the frame and align the screw holes. Use a piece of cardboard from your shipping material to help align the screw holes. Install and tighten the flathead screws. Grab the bag of tools labeled Weight System Hardware. Loosen the screw from one of the shafts and tighten both the screw and shaft onto the back of the base. Repeat for all 3 locations. Remove the screw at the top of the post. Loosen the 4 screws on each linear bearing 1.5 turns. This will allow the bearings to float and align themselves during installation. Before you install the mini panel, loosen all 8 linear shaft screws on each side of the frame assembly. 2 people are needed to install the panel into the frame rails. Position the opening of the bearings against the rail ends and gently push them over the shaft. This is critical. Both bearings must be slid on at the same time to prevent misalignment and damage to the bearings. Slide the panel onto the rails and align the second set of bearings onto the shaft. Once all bearings are fully engaged, slide the panel up and down the shafts. This will align the shafts well. Replace the stop. This will prevent the system from coming off of the shafts. Tighten the screws that hold the shafts onto the weldments. There are 8 screws per shaft. Move the panel up and away from the base as far as possible. Retrieve the spring hub and shaft assemblies from the bag of tools. Remove both screws at the bottom of the mini panel. Install the spring hubs on each side of the panel. Insert the shaft through the spring hub. Make sure that the threaded hole is facing toward the upright. Use your fingers to start the screw into the shaft. Once you have a few turns, use a hex wrench and tighten fully. Repeat on the opposite side. Slowly move the frame to the upright position. Make sure a second or third person helps during this step. Loosen the 4 screws on both the right and left clamping bars. Now attach the lower front panel. Place it inside the clamping bars on both ends of the right and left post. Now tighten all 4 screws on the clamping bars to secure the lower front panel. Replace the weights on the posts and reattach the disc and screws. Attach the brake knob into the center brake on the mini panel. Test the movement of the panel up and down the length of the travel. The panel should move freely and stop where it's released. Tighten the brake to hold the panel in place during use. Tighten the 4 screws that hold each bearing at this time. Do not over-tighten them. Remove the 2 screws on the left side of the frame. Retrieve the CPU backplate and attach it to the frame. Now remove the knob from the back of the CPU and place the CPU on the backplate. Reattach the knob onto the CPU. Pull the power cord from the metal pocket of the frame. Remove the tape from the target wire casing and feed it through the metal pocket of the frame. Now feed the power cord through the target wire casing. Finally, zip tie the casing through all 3 zip tie locations. Then cut the long end of each zip tie. Plug in both the target wire and power cord at this time. Give the system power by plugging it into a wall outlet. And finally, locate the on-off switch and turn the power on. Your CPU and panel targets will light up at this time.